Hey everyone! So I wanted to do an updated what's in my bag video. I did post one about a year ago and I was using a completely different bag. It was actually quite a bit smaller than this one. So I recently got this Delfonics bag back in January and have been using it. So I wanted to go ahead and just share what I have in my bag now and just add a little bit more information as to why I decided to get this bag and why I made the switch. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So this is a Delfonics carrying case in the A5 or medium size. This is in the color light gray. And if you're at all familiar with the previous pencil case that I was using, then it is quite a bit smaller than this one. I did want to go ahead and upgrade to a significantly larger pencil bag just because I had so many things that I wanted to carry, and as you can see, it does have a lot of stuff inside of it. And the reason why I wanted to get this in the first place was because I ultimately wanted to be able to take this on the go with me and just have this be the only thing that I brought with me. For instance, going to the park or going to the lake and wanting to be able to have my journaling supplies slash any additional like art supplies. I wanted to be able to house all of that in this bag and just have this be the only thing that I brought with me. With that being said, I don't always have it closed like this, and it's typically not this packed. So the reason why it does look this full and this packed right now is because I currently do have my planners inside of it, my planners slash journal. So it does look pretty bulky here in the video, but typically when I am here at home, then I do just have my planners and my journals out, and so it's not usually this bulky. It's typically pretty flat. So this is pretty much how it looks like if I were to take it out to travel, either to go to the office or if I were to walk around with it and had plans to journal or do some painting outside. So I'll go ahead and just start with these first pockets here. So there are several different pockets, as you can see. On the back side here, there are even more pockets that I am currently not even using, but you can definitely store even more things back here, like stickers or perhaps like some flatter items like sticky notes, stickers, etc. But I'll go ahead and kind of go from like left to right. So sorry, it's a little bit difficult to see just because it's kind of curving around, but as you can see, I do have a couple of Uniball One pens over here. So to start, I have this black Uniball One gel pen. This is just the black body with the rose gold clip. And this is in the 0.38 millimeter size. Any of the Uniball One gel pens that I will be showing in today's video, then they are all the 0.38 millimeter size. And then I also have a metallic gold Uniball One, which I reviewed recently because they did just come out with this not long ago. And when they came out with the metallic gold, then they also came out with just this matte white gel pen, which I have kind of been using here and there, just trying it out. Next, I also have this white Uniball Signo gel pen. This is my go-to white gel pen. I absolutely have to have one of these with me pretty much at all times. And then I do have a couple more things that's in this pocket here. First off, I have just a couple of stamps. So this one here is from the brand Alimer, and it's basically just kind of like this roll-on stamp type of device where, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but it's supposed to roll on like a design of cats running or like chasing each other. So I thought that it was very cute and wanted to just keep it in here in case I ever felt that it was necessary to use it in my journals. And then the other stamp that I have is one of these Hobonichi Techo Decor Rush stamps, or kind of like a roll-on sticker type of ordeal. I am still kind of trying this out. It's the sushi design, as you can see. So far, I have been kind of struggling to use this, so if any of you out there have any tips on how to get the best performance and use out of this product, then please do let me know. And then the last item that is in this pocket here is my set of Priscision stationery tweezers. So this is what I like to use when I am taking stickers off of the sticker sheets and placing it into my journals. As for this middle pocket here, I have a couple of items. This first item is one of the Pilot Frixion stamps, and it just comes in this play button. So I like to be able to use this in my journals to mark when I schedule new videos on my channel. And then the other two items in this pocket here are a couple of erasers. So this first one here is one of the Tombow MONO erasers. I don't use this one as often as I use the kneaded eraser just because I am really not a big fan of like any eraser dust, and so I don't use this one as often as I should. However, this is a very nice eraser and I find that the clumps do clump together very well, and so it ends up leaving not that much eraser dust in the end, but typically I do still just prefer a kneaded eraser over it. So I like to have both of these on hand just because I will use one or the other depending on what I'm doing, or kind of depending on what my mood is as well. Moving on to this side of the front, then these are basically what I like to consider kind of like my go-to everyday utensils. So my go-to pen, as some of you may be familiar with, is this Uniball Signo DX in the 0.28mm size. It's just in the shade black. This is what I like to use in my journal on a daily basis when I'm writing down my tasks, when I'm checking off my habits, writing down any plans, etc. Next to it then I have this Uniball Jetstream ballpoint pen in the 0.5mm size, and pretty much the only time that I do use this is kind of like when I'm writing that one line a day in my Hobonichi Hon. Again, just to go along with kind of like that journaling type of use, then I just keep it right next to my Uniball Signo DX. Moving on to this second slim pocket here, then I just have a Tombow Fudenosuke in a black shade, and this is also the hard tip. I always like to carry one of these on hand for writing headers and just to add a little bit more visual interest when I am journaling. Next, then I have one of the Sakura Pigma Microns. This is the 01 size. I find that I like to use this one for when I am blocking out time throughout my week for like my work schedule or social obligations. So this one I find very handy for when I'm kind of drawing out like those design elements in my planner. Moving on to this final slim pocket over here, as well as the final pockets on the very front. Then I have a mechanical pencil, of course. This is the Tombow MONO shaker mechanical pencil. It came in a set with the eraser, and so that's why they are kind of like that same mint green color. But I definitely need to always have a mechanical pencil with me. This is what I use every day to sketch out my daily doodles in my Hobonichi Hon, as well as if I am doing any like doodling or painting in my journal, then I like to just use this to sketch everything out first. And lastly, then I have yet another Sakura Pigma Micron. This is the 005 size, so it is significantly thinner than the 01 size that I showed earlier, but this is my preferred pen for when I am inking in the daily doodles in my Hobonichi Hon. So I will go ahead and just sketch it out with my pencil first, and then when I'm done coming up with the idea and the sketch, then I will go in and just ink it in with this pen. And then I also have just a couple of like little cute paper clips that I've attached onto the pockets here. I don't find that I use them very often, but I do like to just have paper clips on hand in case I do need them for something. And I thought I might as well attach a couple of like the cute ones that I have instead of kind of like the boring typical like silver ones. So these two here, then I actually got them from Notebook Therapy when I purchased a couple of their dotted journals last year. So one of them is just kind of like this maple leaf type of design, and then also a moon and star. So I think that they're very cute, and I kind of like the gold accents to decorate like the light gray color of the bag as well. So even if I don't get much use out of these, then I think it just adds a little bit of personality to the bag. And then just a couple more clips as well. I of course had to include these two little cat paper clips, again with the gold detailing. I just think that they are so cute, and they also just remind me of my two cats, Homer and Dion, so I really like having these on my bag as well. Alright, so moving on to the second set of pockets here, as you can see, there are two larger pockets here at the front, and then we'll get into the main compartment after that. So, to start off with the left side again, then I do have another Uniball One gel pen. This is the Blackberry Sorbet shade, and this changes month to month. The reason why I have this one in my bag currently is because it is the shade that I determined to be the closest to the March color in my Hobonichi Hone. So as some of you may know, I do daily journal entries in my Hobonichi Hone, and I've been wanting to just have like the pen that I use match the color of the ruling as well as that month. So for January, then I had a Sakura Jelly Roll Moonlight pen that was in here, and then for February, then I had a Zebra Sarasa Vintage shade in here, and now for the month of March, then I have this Uniball One Blackberry Sorbet, and of course when April comes around, then I'll go ahead and swap it out as well, but I just like to keep it in this pocket. Next, then I have one of these wooden applicators, and this is just to help apply those MU transfer stickers that I have in my sticker book collection. So if I'm like on the go or something, then I will be able to decorate my journal with those stickers and use this to gently apply the stickers onto the page. Next, I also have a little clear plastic ruler. This is also, I feel like, one of the essential items that I need to keep with me at all times. I like to use this to help in blocking out time in the weekly sections of my planner. Next, then I have a pair of scissors. This is from the brand Kokuyo, and it does just have like this protective sleeve, which is very nice for traveling. So I do just like to keep this in my bag with me at all times as well. Then I have a Tombow dual brush pen here in that pocket as well. This is the shade 403. So like the Uniball One in Blackberry Sorbet that I showed that was also in this pocket, this marker ends up changing every week. This marker is what I use to distinguish the intermittent fasting times throughout my day. And as I mentioned in a couple of previous videos, then I do like to switch up the color every week just to add a little bit of fun and excitement, I guess. So this week then I am doing kind of like this light turquoise color. But again, it does change from week to week, but that is just where I like to keep this marker. And then lastly, in this pocket, this is where I keep any of my post-it notes. So these two here are from the brand Beverly, and they are in the Tea Time shade. I like to use these smaller ones so that I can write down any tentative plans and events going on in future months, and that way I will be able to remember that I have those plans, but I won't have to write it into the actual planner itself before I've gotten around to actually setting it up, if that makes sense. And then this one here is the medium size, I believe. So this small one is in the petite size, and this one here is in medium. And I honestly haven't really used this one too much. I do find that it is nicer for like larger areas when I am writing down any notes in my planner. And then I also have a craft sticky note pad as well. This is what I use to cover up any sensitive information in my journal, just because the two Beverly ones, then they are a little bit transparent, which I was not aware of when I was purchasing them. So in case you are curious but you are wanting post-it notes to cover up any sensitive information, I would not recommend the Beverly ones to do that. So that is it for this pocket up here. Now let's go ahead and share what's in the pocket on the right. So I have a little watercolor set. Like I mentioned, I do have plans to take this out with me into nature and just do a little bit more watercoloring. So as you can see, I just have a little paper towel here to help wipe off my brush. I have this adorable little water brush from Pentel, and I really love this because it just fits so perfectly with my watercoloring items. And then I have this little Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolor palette, and it comes with 12 shades. Originally, when you purchase this, then it will come with a white, but I have since swapped that out for a Payne's Gray just because I don't find myself using white watercolors very often, and I typically prefer kind of more of like the moody grays of like the Payne's Gray shade. It does come with its own mini brush, but I do prefer to have like the water brush on hand just because that already includes water with it. And then the final thing in this pocket here is actually this little keyboard stamp set. I forgot what the brand was, but I will go ahead and include it down below in case you are curious. But it just comes with these adorable little panda faces, and I really do love using this in my journal just to indicate different expressions or indicate like what I'm feeling on certain days. So I've been really enjoying using this in my planner. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up this zipper here. And I do have, of course, some more pens, and this is where I have like my planners as well as my sticker book. So let's go ahead and take these out. So just to quickly go over my planners and what was in that larger middle section, I do have one of these clear shaded Jiki or writing boards, and this is just in a B6 size, so it fits pretty nicely in my common planner. And then speaking of my common planner, this is my everyday planner as well as my journal. So this is the B6 common planner in the caramel shade with the white edges. I do have quite a few videos on my channel about this, so if you are curious about my planning process, then I will go ahead and just leave a video here. And then I also am using a Hobonichi Home, like I mentioned. This is the A6 size and it fits perfectly in this bag, and this is kind of where I like to do additional journaling as well as memory keeping. So if you are also curious on how I specifically use this planner, then I will go ahead and link a video here. And then lastly, I have this MU sticker book, and so this is kind of where I just like to keep all of the stickers that I would like to use in my planner. The ones that I use most often are kept up towards the front, and then I have a lot of these transfer stickers that I do intend on using later throughout the year in my planner. So there is that. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive into the actual large pocket here. I do have quite a few more pens, as you can see. These are kind of like my backup pens, the ones that I don't necessarily use every day, but I do like to have some variety on hand, or in case I'm doing something like a little bit more extensive, like in my journaling or am drawing something. So I guess I'll start off with kind of like what's towards the front here. I don't have too many things, but I do have yet another gold gel pen. This is a Uniball Signo metallic gold gel pen. This was kind of the one that I was using before I got the Uniball one. I haven't been using this one as much anymore, so I guess I honestly don't really need to keep this one, but we'll see. I'll probably put this back in my collection since I don't really reach for this one anymore. And then I also have a Sharpie in here. I don't use this in my planner per se, but sometimes when I'm on the go and I need to write something like quickly on like a piece of scratch paper or something, then I do like to have a Sharpie on hand in case one of those situations do come up. And then I have one of these adorable little Uniball One P gel pens. This is in like the mandarin orange body. It just has black ink inside, but I don't know, I haven't really reached for this one that much, but every time I see it, it just makes me so happy, so I still like to have it with me just to make me feel better, I guess. And then in this pocket over here, then this is where I like to keep a couple more runners. So I have a whiteout runner that I don't use too often, but in case I make like a mistake writing like a sentence in my journal, then I just have one of these to help cover it up. And then I also have one of these Tombow MONO adhesive tape runners just to tape in any additional like memorabilia or ephemera into my planners / journal. In this pocket then I also have additional lead. So on one side then I have 0.7, which I don't even have like a pencil that uses that anymore. And then I also have 0.5 on this side, which is what the Tombow mechanical pencil takes. And then lastly, I just have clipped here a little bulldog clip for any scenario where I would need to clip my pages together while I'm journaling or doodling. And then pretty much all that's left are some pens, so I will kind of just gloss over these so I don't have to necessarily take them out. But basically on this side, very satisfyingly, I have all of the Zebra Sarasa vintage shades, and I have mentioned this so many times in the past that they are pretty much like my absolute favorite colored gel pens. So I just don't ever feel right if I didn't have them with me. And then here I just have some additional Sakura Pigma Microns in some larger sizes in case I happen to need them for doodling, sketching, or drawing stuff out in my journal or planner. And then over here I actually have 4 fountain pens. So these first 2 here are Pilot Metropolitans. So lately I've been getting quite a bit into fountain pens. It's kind of a dangerous obsession at this moment, but I have this Pilot Metropolitan fountain pen in the gold shade, and right now I have just one of the standard Pilot cartridges that are inside of it. It's just the black ink that they come with, and this one is in the fine nib. And then the second Pilot Metropolitan fountain pen that I have, then this is in the medium size, and this has the Pilot ink cartridge as well, but in a brown shade. So I've been really enjoying using this one, especially in like the larger nib size, just so that I can actually see like the shading of the brown ink, which is very beautiful in my opinion. And then I also have a TWSBI Eco fountain pen, and currently I have the Robert Oster and Coffee Monsters Co. collection of the Day to Night ink inside, which is kind of this soft muted purple, which I have been really enjoying and I can't get enough of it. So I've been trying really hard not to write with it every single day. But yeah, that is currently what is inside of this fountain pen. And lastly, this is kind of an interesting one. It's a Pilot Petite fountain pen, so it's very small and adorable. But I am actually using it kind of like what they consider the eyedropper conversion method, where you basically just fill up the entire backside of this body with ink. So unfortunately, they no longer make the Pilot Petite line of pens, but they do still sell the cartridges. So in case you do have one of these, you can still purchase cartridges for it, or you can do what I did and just fill the entire back body with ink. But currently I have the Jack's Urban Emerald of Kyver ink inside, so it's just this very beautiful deep emerald shade. So that is the 4th fountain pen that I currently have. So yeah, that is it for my pen case tour of my Delfonics carrying case. Like I mentioned, I don't have anything in the back pockets here, but potentially that could be a good place where I could put my sticky notes. This pocket right here with the Velcro is very large, so you can actually even like put larger things back here, maybe like a sticker book or some extra sheets of paper or something like that, or even another notebook. So, but yeah, overall I've been really loving this bag so far. I love how many things that I can put inside of it, and even with all of the things that I've shown you today, there's still more things that I could put in there. There are pockets that aren't even being used currently, but I just haven't thought of anything else to put in here. I definitely didn't want to bulk it up just because I could. I wanted to be mindful about the things that I put in my bag and what I wanted to bring with me on the go should I go out and want to journal somewhere. Now, I would say so far the only downside to having this bag so far would be the material, which unfortunately I love the canvas material very much, but especially with the shade that I got, this light gray, and having 2 black cats, then I definitely get a lot of cat hair on this somehow. So I definitely had to lint roll it quite a bit before filming this video so that there wasn't a bunch of cat hair all over it. But truthfully, I'd say that that would be the only downside to it, is if you have pets, then just know that there is a good chance that it will collect a lot of hair. Now, I do know that they make a couple of different bags that are kind of more of like the plastic or water resistant texture, and I assume that that wouldn't attract so much cat hair or lint onto those bags as much as these. However, I didn't really like the design of those as much, or the colors, so I am quite happy with my choice. And yeah, I really don't have too many other things to say about this, just that I've been really enjoying it so far. I definitely think that it's worth the money, and I am really looking forward to being able to take this out on the go with me and just be able to utilize it to its full potential more. As you can see, it does come with these 2 little side pieces here where you can attach a strap, which I did also get, but because So far, I've been using this a lot at home. I don't find that the strap is necessary to have it on. So yeah, that's it for my updated what's in my bag tour. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have a Delfonics and what you think of it, or if you have any other questions or comments, or if you have any other future video suggestions. I really do appreciate hearing all of your feedback, so please do let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.